Today I'll be going through the pros and cons of living in Salt Lake City, Utah. My name's Gardiner. I'm a licensed realtor here in Salt Lake, and I've lived here since the 5th grade, so I've seen a lot change over the years. If you find value from this content, please hit the like button and subscribe as I release a new video every week. If you have questions about anything I talk about or in Utah in general, feel free to reach out. You can comment below or my information in the link below. First, I want to go through the pros. Pro number 1, it's really safe here in Utah. A lot of times when I'm helping people move from out of state or even in-state and they haven't lived here very long, they always ask about what neighborhoods are the safest. And in general, they're all safe. There's some have some bad reputations, but all in all, Utah is a very safe place. I grew up not locking my door. I still know people who don't lock their doors. Sometimes I forget to lock our door. And it feels like a pretty safe community. There's always like the sketchy parts of town where they're not that sketchy. Yeah, we have some homeless, but it's not nearly as bad as some of the other communities that I've seen. The second pro, the weather. We have all seasons. I like all seasons, spring, summer, fall, autumn, winter. We get them all. We get some great snow. Obviously, if you're thinking about Utah, you're thinking about the greatest snow on earth. But we also have some great summers where it gets really warm and the mountain biking is off the hook. But then like the long falls, I love the long falls. Right now, we're in the middle of October and we're enjoying a great fall. We've gotten a little bit of a skiff of snow in the mountains, but now we're back to 70 degrees during the day, and it's just great. Just all in all, the weather is awesome, and it's one of my favorite things. Next up, pro number 3, recreation. I love how close and accessible recreation is. That's why so many jobs are coming here, companies are coming here. For skiing, from Salt Lake City, you're 45 minutes to an hour to about 6 or 7 world-class ski resorts. As you're probably aware, we had the Olympics in 2002. We're probably going to have them again in 2034. That just got released last week that we're the only person viable for 2034. And so access to the outdoors is huge here. Recreation. We have places you can go boating, skiing. You can go south and go to Moab, the Red Rock. We have 5 national parks. So access to recreation is huge here in Utah. And honestly, that's one of the biggest drivers for our state. It is huge and I love it. And most people that move here love it too. Pro number 4, opportunity. We have a lot of jobs coming here, partly because of our legislator doing a lot of aggressive things to get jobs here to continue with growth. But we have tech jobs. You've probably heard of Silicon Slopes, which is like a sister city to Silicon Valley. It's in the Lehigh area. It is huge with startups, big startups. They have like an annual thing an annual conference where everyone gets together and discusses tech. We have really friendly banking laws here, so we get a lot of banks that set up here. Discover Card, Amex, Goldman Sachs, they all bring, offloading out of New York City, they come here because of the great opportunity and because the employees want to be here because of that recreation that I mentioned. Pro number 5, our real estate market is still really early. It's still got a lot of growth. We do have a housing shortage currently, but there's a lot of upside to owning here because of all the future growth that's occurring. All right, so now let's go through the cons. There's definitely a few problems with Utah, and I want to be honest about them. First off, the liquor and beer laws. We've heard that for a long time from a lot of people out of state. In grocery stores, we have what we call low point beer, and it used to be even lower until about 3 years ago. It was 3.2% alcohol ABV. Now it's up to 5%. But if you want to get liquor, wine, or anything above 5%, you're going to a state-run liquor store, and those are closed on Sunday, they're closed on holidays, so you got to schedule your holiday parties appropriately if you're going to go to a liquor store. Another huge con in Utah, road construction. I already talked about, our 4 seasons. One of the jokes here in Utah is you got 2 seasons, winter and road construction, because we got orange cones and orange barrels everywhere. Where I live right now, we have so many 5-story condo buildings going in and redoing the roads everywhere. I feel like I'm trapped, and it takes a lot of planning to get where I need to go quickly. If you're on I-15, during rush hour, if there's traffic, that's another thing. That's another con is traffic. I think traffic's kind of bad here, especially if you're trying to get up to ski resort. But if you're moving from California and places like that, you're gonna think this traffic's easy. Another con is air quality. We get these high pressure systems here in Utah, and because we live in a big valley, that, any bad air that comes from, whether it's livestock, cows, if it's cars, all that stuff stays in the valley unless we get, low pressure to blow it out. So low pressure being a winter storm. So if it's a snowstorm, a rainstorm, just a windstorm, but if it's just high pressure for weeks and weeks, and then some of that air pollution just sits in the valley, and eventually you can see it kind of like smog, it looks a little bit like LA, but that's definitely a con also. If you're having issues with breathing, then you want to definitely consider that. Thanks for joining me again, learning these pros and cons of Salt Lake City. If you have more questions, hit me up, let me know in the comments below. You can, if you find value, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.